Thanks for joining me for Project 2 of the Celebrate Today Workshop from Close to My Heart. Now, if you haven't seen the first video, this is a series of 4 different projects that all come from one scrapbooking workshop, and this is layout number 2. It is a single page 12 by 12 layout, and I'm starting with a base piece of pattern paper, and then that angled corner piece in the bottom right is a die cut that comes exclusively as part of this workshop kit. So I've added that. I didn't have to measure, I didn't have to cut, I didn't have to figure any of those details out for the angle. It's just part of the die cut, which is just a fun detail to add to the page. So now I'm going back to the die cut sheets and pulling out all of these fun stars. Now I am going to use these stars, a few of them at least, to create some shakers. So if you've never tried a shaker, it's really fun, and you can do it with almost any shape. So again, these die cuts are already assembled for you and ready to use in this workshop. If you didn't want to make the shakers, that'd be fine too, because you could just layer all the stars on as is, but it's a really fun technique. So I'm taking some of the vellum that again was part of the exclusive kit, and I'm just tracing around the 4 largest stars. So all the other stars are just going to be accents on the page, but I'm going to create 4 shakers using the stars that came in the kit. So just by tracing the vellum, I can trim that out, and that will be kind of the lid to my shaker so that I can see the sequins that I put inside of it through that vellum. So I'm just trimming that out, and then we are going to build the shaker with the die cut stars, the colorful ones. Those will be the base of the shaker, and then with foam tape we'll be able to create the rest. So I do recommend when you're trimming this out to trim inside your pencil line, because if you trim on the outside it will be a little bit bigger than your white overlay. And if that happens, you can easily just trim it out. But if you cut inside the pencil lines, it'll fit just right for you. So now I'm going to build the shaker. I'm just using this black piece of cardstock as a background so that you can see the detail. So I'm just using my foam tape. And again, you can get as detailed as you want on this. I'm kind of a quick foam tape user, and so I'll just tear off pieces. The main thing is that you don't want there to be any holes where the sequins can get out. So that other little thing off to the right, if you've never seen one of those before, it's an anti-static pouch, and it works so well for taking off static. It also works for removing the stickiness off of a sticker if you're wanting to add foam tape, which we'll do even more of that on other videos in this series as well. So I use it before making a shaker so that I can take any static off of the papers and things so that the sequins don't all jump to one spot. So here we go with the foam tape. Like I said, I just kind of rip those pieces. You could easily use your nonstick scissors. And there I've just sped this up so you can see I've got foam tape all the way around. Just make sure none is hanging off the edge of the star and none is showing on the inside, and that there's no gap so no sequins falls out. So again, I took the anti-static pouch and put that powder in so that there's no static, and then you can be liberal with the sequins, but know that if you put in too much sequins, they won't shake as well. So you want to make sure there's plenty in there so that you can see all those details, but not so full that they won't move around. So now I'm just peeling off the backing to the foam tape. So just be careful when you're doing that none of your sequins jump up and stick to the sticky parts. And then I'm making a sandwich by putting that star from the die cut on top. So now when I turn that around, I've got the shaker. So those little sequins will move right around. You can still see that pink color through the vellum. And there you go. That's one shaker built. You can do this with any shape. Close to My Heart does sell a kit for circle shakers. So those are all pre-cut for you. The foam tape is even pre-cut for you. And those are awesome if you've never done a shaker and you want to try that. That would be a great way to start. But you can make it with any shape. If you've cut something on your Cricut or anything you have, by using just foam tape as your middle sandwich piece to give you that dimension, then you can really create a shaker out of almost anything. So now I'm adding that zip strip to the top. Such a fun little detail that came right off of the branding strip. And now another little strip that we pre-cut in the cutting guide from the beginning of the raspberry cardstock. Then this scallop piece is a die cut that came pre-cut for you in the workshop itself. I love, love, love all these little details. I love that the workshops allow you to have that level of difficulty or detail on a project that you didn't have to spend time doing. So you still get all the payoff of those details, but you get to spend most of your time in the actual creative process. I'd much rather spend time creating a fun shaker like this than just having to sit and trim a lot of papers. So it really is a fun way to get your creative juices flowing, even though you might be following instructions and making a project just by copying what you see. That still is a fun part of the process. So I also love that you can take any of the pieces in these workshops and use them for anything you want. You could take all these die cuts and just go to town making your own fun design. You don't even have to follow these instructions. So here I'm just adding those the shaker stars first, putting those where I want them, and then I can fill in with all the other little stars. I'm also doing 2 3x4 photos. Again, you could easily use just one 4x6 horizontal photo here, but I chose to use just 2 photos to fit a few more onto this one single 12x12 page. So I'm only putting the foam tape in the middle where I know it will reach to the base page, and then adhesive around the other edges so it'll attach to those shaker cards or the shaker stars. And now I am just going to fill in with all the other star die cuts that came in the kit. I just simply had to pop those right out of the carrier sheet and they were ready to go. So I've layered 2 pinks on top of each other, and now I'm just tucking different colors around, just trying to get a good color balance as I go. I'm going to layer the 2 greens together because there's one that's lighter and one that's darker, and so those just kind of go well together. Again, you could use them in any combination you want, however it works for you as you start creating this layout. Now I've got all my stars in place and I have a title. So the title says star. We've cut that again for you as well as part of the exclusive die cuts. So I'm just putting adhesive on the back of those, and starting at the right, I am going to move them down just a tad because as I get right here, I realize they're too close to my photo. But again, when you are working with titles like this, you want to build from the right edge out so that you don't cheat yourself on too much space or not enough space, either way. So I'm adding star. I love that this title is black and bold and it contrasts so well against the rest of the layout. I've also got that black border at the top, so it really helps ground from the top and the bottom. That black depth helps ground the whole layout. So now I'm just going to the sticker sheet. There's these fun balloon clusters. I'm just tucking that behind my photo. I always leave myself just a little bit of room when I've used adhesive around the edges because I never know when I'm going to want to just tuck something under or add another little layer or detail. So that You're a banner came from the die cuts as well. So that just finishes off the title. And now I'm layering some of the stars. Again, this sticker sheet is full of so many little details and all these stars are so fun. So I'm just layering star stickers on top of the star die cuts and just adding another little bit of detail. We've got word banners from the sticker sheet that say Celebrate This Life. I'm just overlapping those on some of the stars there. And now I'm going to add some of our acrylic shapes. So these acrylic shapes are exclusive in the kit for Celebrate Today. And I am just using the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers, coloring these because they color so well. The alcohol markers just easily color those clear acrylic shapes and you can still see through them, but then they have that color. So I love that you can take any clear acrylic and color them any color you want based on whatever markers you have. So these tri-blend markers are amazing because they have 3 different markers in one barrel. And so Not so much on this project because what I'm using them for is just to add color to this acrylic. But when you're actually coloring stamp details or other things, the 3 barrels give you such a good variety and variance in color shades that you can do so much with them. I love, love, love playing with them. And if you haven't tried them, you've got to give them a try if you like to do that detailed coloring and the beautiful tones and variances in coloring. So much fun. So now I'm just going to add those clear acrylic stars. Again, mixing these mediums. We've got shakers going on this layout. We've got acrylic shapes going on. Lots of fun star details that all keep this layout just really feeling fresh and fun. So I'm just using liquid glass. Again, these will dry clear, and so the adhesive won't be showing behind these stars once they dry. So now just kind of adding some glue, liquid glass, as I go back to my sequence pack. Again, this sequence pack came with the workshop, so all the details you need to assemble these layouts all come for you in the workshop kit itself. And adding those sequins, again, just brings in a little bit of sparkle. The sequins are so perfect for the theme of this kit. I love that you can document anything with this kit. They're fun for birthdays or parties and things like that because of all the fun colors, but really you can document almost anything. You could do spring and summer, lots of fun things can be pulled together with the theme of this Celebrate Today kit. So I've added the sequins, which helps tie in too that the sequins are in the shaker itself. I'm adding just another one of these word strips because then I've created a nice black visual triangle from the title to those 2 different word strips. And then I'm just showing you some places maybe you could journal to add some of those details, and of course document your story. That's when the layout is finished, is once the photos and the story are in place. So don't stop before the journaling is there. But I love how this one came together. So many fun details and so many fun techniques.